is one of the very powerful topic to allow us to give ourselves permission to really dream as big as we want, assuming there is no limitation and no barriers. What would you do? What is it that you want? What is it that you want to do, be, and have? And this is so, so powerful as we walk and go through this particular exercise. Maybe today what I'm going to do is do a little bit of interaction. I'm not sure how many of you have actually attended the first seminar since the first, or you are here for the very first time? Can you just type in the chat box that you are for the first time, type a 1 for us to see that you are new today. Any one of you? Okay, I have, I'm not sure whether I'm seeing the chat box or not, but decide what you want. What do you truly want? And this is so powerful to be, do, and have, assuming that there is no limitation. And this is a very, very exciting exercise as you do it. And it's very, very inspiring, because even for myself, I redo everything that I write in the past and I review it. What is it that I really want? And I begin to discover that many of the dreams that I have are dreams that sometimes can be something that is so impossible to achieve, and achieve it. And some of the dreams that I have always wanted when I was young. And I begin to see that by taking and seriously to do this particular exercise, I begin to discover that I can dream again. I can dream big, and I can even dream bigger. And this is the journey of life. To me, success is a journey, it's not a destination. What is important is not what we get as we move along life journey, but more important of all, what we will become at the end of that life journey. That is more important. Is the becoming, it's not what you get. So a lot of time people set goals and they don't achieve it, they feel very bad, and they begin to decide that I'm going to give up setting goals. But no, you got to set goals. As I was looking through my old, goal books, that I write down all the things that I want, be it education, wanting to actually pursue my MBA, I achieved that, being able to buy a house, I achieved that, and being able to buy a car of my dream, I achieved that, being able to travel to different part of the world, I achieved that. So when you do that, you begin to be more serious about your life. And this is so, so important. So last week, we talked about the 7 vision and the 7 dreams category that we all should take seriously. Just write down, what is it that you really want? What is it that you really want for your finance? How much money do you want to see in your bank account? How much investment, where do you want to invest? Write it down, Number 2 is that your work, your career, and your business. What is your ideal career? What is the ideal work? What is the type of business that you want to get involved in? And number 3 is that free time, full time, fun time, and recreation time. What is it that you really want? Don't give up dreaming. What is it that you really want? You may dream of traveling around the world. Let that be what is in your vision board, all right? Your health and fitness, what exactly the weight that you want to weigh, at what time, when, and your fitness, what do you want to do, right? Your relationship with your spouse, your relationship with your brother, your relationship with a team member, your company, your organization. And number 6 is that your personal and your spiritual life, be it in terms of your personal growth and personal development, be it in your spiritual growth in terms of growing as a spiritual person. And number 7 is that making a contribution, leaving a legacy. I think these are some the 7 category of dreams and vision that if you were to actually look at it seriously, you're going to find that if you're able to balance these 7 of them, you're going to have a very fun, fulfilling life. Life that is meaningful and purposeful. Life that is balanced, that you are living out every aspect of life, not just being successful in a career, but to excel in 7 areas of your life as I list down here, all right? So the next slide I'm going to share with you here is about last week when we talked about when you want to dream big. It has been said that it doesn't matter whether you want to dream small or you want to dream big, it takes the same effort. So if you were to know that if you take the same effort, what do you do? Just dream as big as you want, all right? So I still remember when we are young, we dream things that, we dream the impossible. We want to be the superhero, everything we thought of, we believe that it is possible, it can be done, until when our elderly, our parents, our friends, our relatives come in and tell us that it cannot be done, it cannot be done, it cannot be done. And after a while, we get ourselves programmed. Last week, we talked about that. Our mind started to get ourselves programmed that it cannot be done. When you have resigned to the facts that it cannot be done, that is where your dreams will actually be gone. All right. So remember what we mentioned, that there is an inner GPS system within us that can guide us to go from where we are to where we want to be, from point A to point B. It doesn't matter how far it is. The GPS system based on the satellite would actually calculate the location where you are at right now. And when you start to actually put in your request of where you want to go, and when you hit run or go, you're going to see that it's going to take you the different routes, step by step to the destination. It doesn't matter whether it's 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers by foot, by train, by car. You're going to take you to the destination safely. You got to just trust your inner GPS system. The global positioning system that we are talking about is also, GPS also stand for God Positioning System. To me, one of the highest, what I call our creator, our God, he can actually guide us if we send a request through our prayer. What is it that we really want, and act upon it, we will be guided, to the destination that we want. All right. So that is very important. So we did mention that if you are crystal clear about and consistently focus on what you want, the how will show up. So you do not need to know how or the what. You don't need to know the how, but you just need to know what is it that you want. What is it you want to do, be, and have. And the GPS system will actually show you up, show you how to get there. You're going to begin to see when you start to write down some of these vision and goals and dreams, you begin to see that there will be a lot of resources that come in front of you. It has been said that all dreams will come true if you have one. If you have none, nothing is going to be happening. All right. So it's so important for us to understand this. Focus on what you want, and the how will show up. So today, what we are going to do is going to take all the 7 dreams and vision that we have actually written down and put it and turn it into what we call measurable goals. Goals that can be measured by you and measured by other people. Example, if I set a goal to become a double diamond by 31st of December 2020, 12 noon. This can be measured by me. This can be measured by my coach, Derek Chiu. So this is very, very important. So when you turn your dreams and vision into measurable goals, you got to see that automatically your body to move into action. All right. And we need to know the how and how much and by when. All right. How much by when. It have to be very, very specific. All right. How much by when. So someone said that a goal is a dream with a deadline. So we know that when we know when we set a goal, we know when we can accomplish that goals, like by when, and we'll be able to measure, like if we set a goals for wanting to have a house of our dreams, right? We need to know the location of where the house is going to be located at, how many rooms in the house. So when I just got married, I did not actually dream of having big house because just me and my wife. So when I start to have 2 children, I have to start to think that minimum I need to have 2 rooms. And I begin to think that I want to have a library. So the house get bigger and bigger and bigger and clearer. And we want to know the location, how big the size of the room, the house that you want your house to be. All right. The other thing that you can actually measure, like how many books do you want to read this year? Be it reading a books a month. All right, it will be for the remaining of the year, you're going to be reading another maybe 6 more books. All right. So how many person do you want to contact per day if you are a network marketer, or you are a salesperson, or you're a business person? I want to connect with 5 new people every day. So meaning to say that you would write on the books who are the people you will contact, and you just make it happen. And I can tell you that the interesting thing is going to happen when you start to do that. And how much money do you really want in your bank account? these are often something that we don't think about and and it is so important to know how much money that you want to see in a bank account. So when you print out your bank statement, how much do you want to see there? And that must be one of the goals that you should set, And how many minutes do you want to exercise? What is the ideal weight, and by when you're going to achieve that, all right? So when you set the goals that are clear and specific, your subconscious mind, knows what to do. We always say that the science of success said that the brain is a goal-seeking organism. So you do not have to worry about how to do it. When you start to set goals that is clear and you broadcast it, you announce it to the people, your brain is going to be a goal-seeking organism, going to find the necessary resources to help you make things happen for you in your life. And how much by when, all right? This is very, very important, all right? So here, the next thing that I want to cover here is that why most people do not set goals. This is something very, very interesting. I do not want to go into the mundane of it because I always believe in my setting that if you know why you don't do certain things that you're doing, you'll be empowered. If you know, you also got to know why are you doing what you're doing, all right? So this is very, very important. The number one is that you never modeled by your parents. How many of you here in this particular training do have the experience of your parents coming to you to share with you their goals and their dreams, right? If there's any, you just type one, that your parents did that to you, right? Your parents sit next to you and tell you that this is my dream, this is my goals. How many of you have that? Type one if you have experienced that, right? So more often than not, we do not see hands putting up in the live audience or when we have a Zoom call like this. Very few people who have their parents. So like for me, it is my duty for me to actually do that to my children, to really share with them my dreams and my goals, right? So this is very, very important, right? Then the next thing is that how many of you here, are taught in school how to set goals in your high school, in your college, in your university? I never recall that I've been taught how to set goals, right? When I was in primary school, when I'm in secondary school, when I'm in what I call my high school, and when I do my executive MBA, none of my teacher or lecturer actually teach me how to set goals. And the 10% that you see here on the slides is that in America, North America, 1 out of 10 people will know how to set goals, and they are taught in the school, all right? So of course, when you are Boy Scout, the Boy Scout will have the tenderfoot, and you go all the way up to become a King Scout or Queen Scout. Actually, that is part of goal setting, but unfortunately, many of us are not aware of that as a goal setting, all right? And number 3 is that they will discourage, tease, and also been labeled. Most people do not set goals because when they start to set goals, people will start to tease them, start to label them. Wow, you have such a big dream. You want to be a millionaire. Are you sure you can be doing, achieving that? And you get discouraged when you're being teased. All right. So when you are now having like 80 kilogram and you tell your friends that I want to reduce my weight to 70 kilogram, example, some of them may tell you and say, wait until the day you can show me that you are at 70 kilogram, and they tease you and they don't encourage you, and these are one of the causes of why people do not set goals. And the other thing is fear of rejection. A lot of people have this fear of rejection of people might laugh at you, when you set a certain goals. When you share with your coach, when you say with someone about your goals, they disagree with you, they don't support you, and you get rejected, and you have that fear within you, and that's the reason why you do not set goals. And the last one is that fear of failure. How many of you do have fear of failure once in a while, right? I do have fear of failure once in a while. Like I mentioned, my entrepreneurial journey is sometimes up, sometimes down, sometimes up, sometimes down, sometimes up, sometimes like a roller coaster, right? So the important thing is that when you're down, you must always pick yourself up and get up to equilibrium, to the higher level as soon as possible. So we have fear of failure. We fear that we may fail again, right? Example, you may embark on the new journey, in a new job, in a new opportunity like we are here, all right? And you're not sure of the future ahead. So sometimes in your mind, you have that fear of failure, and that can be one of the big cause of a lot of people who do not set goals. And to understand this, we are going to cover what we call the goals achievers cycle, right? Okay, the goals achiever success cycle started with number one is that you need to have a life purpose. Then after you have a life purpose, you determine your vision, right? And actually we did that in the seventh area of our vision category. And once you have a vision, all right, you need to clarify truly what is your needs and your desire, all right? So after you know what your needs and your desire, you need to actually convert them. You convert them into specific measurable goals and objectives, right? And after that, you act upon it. And if you are not happy the results that you're getting, you go back to your life purpose, start to clarify your vision again. And then what are the needs and the wants, and convert them into measurable goal again. Maybe your goal that you set is too high. What you do or your strategy is wrong. You just have to change and start to act upon until you get what you really want. So it's actually discovering your life purpose, all right? So the ABCDE goal setting here is that whatever the mind can conceive, you can actually, when you believe it, you can actually achieve it. That is the ABCD's goal setting. And here, this is Earl Nightingale, one of the author. He said, what we put in our mind, in our subconscious mind, right? Sorry. What we put in our subconscious mind and nourish it with repetition, emotion, will one day become a reality. And it is really true. Whatever that you put into your mind over and over and over and over again, all right? Your subconscious mind will eventually be programmed through the repetition and through the emotion, and it will become a reality. So what you conceive, you believe, you achieve. And this is the same concept that a lot of advertisers are doing. They use words, they use images, they use music to program, you know, what people want to engage into the brand that they want to promote. And that is actually very important, all right? So the next thing that I'm going to share with you here is that all high achievers do set goals and objectives. It doesn't matter who they are. Some of them may not be telling them you specifically how to do it, but somehow they know how to set goals and objectives. People like Trish Swangler, Bob Swangler, people like Derek Chew, people like Danny, people like Argue. Every one of us, if we intend to be a high achiever, we know how to set goals and set objectives, all right? So here, this is something very simple that many of you have already come across. It's called the SMART goal. In aspect, I would not want to actually go into very, very detail on this. I know that many people, when they go to a goal setting seminar, this is the first thing they teach them, SMART goal. And it is, there's no change, whether you learn it from whichever gurus, they will teach you about the SMART goal. SMART goal number one, S stands for specific. Your goal is direct, detailed, and meaningful and purposeful, all right? And this is very, very important, all right? So define your goal clearly. What is your needs to be accomplished, and what outcomes do you need to see in order to consider that this goal have been accomplished? So it have to be very specific that you be able to measure. And number two is that measurable. Your goals is quantified to track progress, because if you don't set goals, if it's not measurable, you cannot track the progress. So when you have a measurable goals, it enables you to actually evaluate whether or not your goals have been achieved or not, and how you will decide whether the goals is completed or not, and what you need to do the next step, right? So the A is attainable. Don't set goals that is too big. Don't set goals that is too low, right? So, but when you dream your vision can be as big as you can, and you actually look at how can you chunk it down step by step to achieve it. So your goals got to be realistic, and you have the tools and the resources to attain it. So goals realistic about what it is possible given the availability of your resources. Like right now, we are not able to travel because the MCO, ECQ, or circuit breaker. So we need to know our resources pertaining to belly-to-belly meeting is cut down. So we need to change. We need to have Zoom as one of the training, and we did not buy any of the account. We need to actually make sure that all our presentation is done within like 30 minutes or 40 minutes because the Zoom will lock you out, right? So your resources, your knowledge, and your time. Some of us here may need to acquire new knowledge, like how to use Zoom. Some of us here may require new to set aside more time because you are not doing this business full time. You may be actually having two businesses running together, no? So this is very, very important. And number four is that it must be relevant. So your goals got to be aligned to your company vision, purpose, the culture, and ethos. And especially when you are working with a purpose-driven company, you find that it is very, very meaningful when you start to align your goal to the organization you work with, the team that you work with, the people that you're surrounded with. And if every one of them have the same mindset and culture, you begin to see that your life is much more fulfilled, all right? And the last one is actually time-based. Do have deadline. You need to set deadline. Otherwise, there's no what I call sense of urgency. So you set the deadline by when you want to accomplish certain things. When you need that goal to be accomplished, right? So that is very, very important, right? So we have another half an hour to continue with the next particular topic that I'm going to share with you here is, right? Goal setting in action. So very important is that a dream, it has been said, a dream written down with a date becomes a goal, all right? So when a goal is broken down into steps, into small little steps, it becomes a plan of action, right? So when a plan is backed up by an action, it becomes a reality. So you dream, you set goal, you've broken down the goal, you have a plan of action, and you act upon it, it becomes a reality, all right? So here, goals need to be written down and reviewed regularly to with progress reports. And this is so important. A lot of people write down their goals, which I also did to me, but somehow it's very interesting. Even when you write it down, and you don't review it, somehow that dreams and somehow that goals that you've written down, you someday come to fruition, come to manifestation. That is very interesting. I've written many, many goals when I was young, when I was first exposed to personal leadership development way back in 1986. And I have a book that I will always write down whatever that I want, all right? And did I review it? I did not. Well, for whatever reason, sometimes you may be busy or for whatever reason it is, you know. So, but after a little while, I begin to realize when I take back the books and start to actually open it up and start to read about it, I begin to realize that some of the goals that I've written, even I did not review it, it come to pass, all right? So whatever it is, write it down and review it regularly. And I will tell you that why is it so important later on backed by some of the studies that done. And of course, better still, if you have an accountability partner. Many a time when you set the goals and you have someone that really understands you and you actually have an accountability partner is actually even much more better, right? So here we said that something I want which is measured by me and someone else, not something that you want and is measured by you is powerful, but it's even much more powerful when someone know what you want and able to coach you and able to give you the accountability, you know, in helping you to achieve your goals. So this is very powerful. And I want to give you some research that is done pertaining to the importance of writing down, sharing it power, sharing it with other people, reviewing it, and the effectiveness of it, all right? But coming to goal setting, one very interesting things that we all we have learned, especially we attend a lot of seminar, and there's a lot of gurus and experts who come up to you and said that Yale University in 1953 did a goal study, and they found out that only 3% of the people who write goals and achieve their goals. And that particular what called research was actually a myth. what it means is that there was never such a what I call goal setting, or rather goal study that been done by Yale University. It's just basically someone cook it up and try to use that to inspire people to say, hey, look, it's important for you to set goal. And if you set goal, you can achieve that. You don't set goal, you cannot achieve that. All right. So so what really happens is that there is this lady by the name of Dr. Gail Matthews. And Gail Matthews actually is the Dominican University professor, and she decided to put together a study, all right? And this is what she did, all right? She basically took something like 267 participants ranging from the age of 23 to 72 years old. And they recruited this group of people from the United States, from Europe, from Australia, and from Asia. So there are some Asian statistics here. And they included a couple of entrepreneur, educator, healthcare professional, artists, attorney, bankers, marketers, network marketers, human service provider, managers, vice president, directors of non-profit organization, and the participants are randomly assigned to one of these five groups. So in aspect, you have seen this particular whole statistic. I could actually break it down for you. Group number one is that they would just think about goals, right? And group number two is that they think about their goals, write it down, all right? Write down their goals. Group number four, 2 and 3. And group number 4 is that they think about the goals, write it down, and actually they share it with their friend. And the last one is that they're asked to do all the above and provide a weekly report to their friends, all right? So these are the 5 groups that they did. So we always like statistic, right? When this statistic that research is done, it really tells us that this is the something that we have to embrace and we have to do. If you just think about a goal, your success rate is only 43%. If you write down your goals, you're going to have a success rate of 56%. If you were to think about your goal, write it down and share with your friends, you're going to achieve 64%. And if you were to share with your friend plus make a weekly progress report to your friend, how are you doing? How have you been doing with regards to trying to lose weight? You're going to see that there is, example, you're going to see a success rate of 76%. So from group 1 to group 5, you see that there's a 33% increase. And this is very, very powerful. And when I begin to see that, I said that I need to start to look for people that I can actually talk to, people that I can share what I call, my goals with, and people that I can have accountability with, because by doing so, I'll be able to make progress even much more better, right? So there's another actually research that is done by one of the professor, right? This professor is a Professor David Cole, and he's from Virginia Tech. He said that people who write down their goals earn 9 times as much over their lifetime as people who don't. So when you're understanding, what should you do? Go back and write down your goals, all right? So after today's particular seminar, I want you all to go back to write down your goals, write down your intention. What is it that you want, and turn into objective and use the SMART goal concept to really make it happen, right? So goal setting is about getting us from point A to point B, and it's very important for us to realize that it is important. Okay, look at this particular handwritten what I call letter. This is from who? No? This is written by Bruce Lee. How many of you know Bruce Lee? I know Bruce Lee. In the 70s, in the 80s, Bruce Lee is actually a very famous what I call Oriental artist, and I didn't know that he speaks very good English when I was watching his interview, right? And this is what Bruce wrote to himself, right? And Bruce Lee, he wrote to himself, he said that I, Bruce Lee, will be the first highest paid Oriental superstar in the United States. In return, I will give the most exciting performance and render the best quality in the capacity of an actor. Starting 1970, I will achieve world fame, and from then onwards till the end of 1980, I will have in my possession $10 million US, and I'll live the way I please and achieve inner harmony and happiness. And this is what Bruce Lee wrote. And Bruce Lee has a big goals. The goal is very visionary, and he break down into daily goals. And Bruce Lee really achieved what he have set up for in 1980. He was the best known Oriental movie star in the United States. All right, and Bruce Lee made 3 films, and one of the very famous films is actually Enter the Dragon. Right, so that is what Bruce Lee wrote. So 4 years later, he died at a very young age of 32 years old, but he really have fulfilled his dream by just writing a letter to himself. This is a second person who write himself a check. I still remember there was one of the network marketing company that I was with. You know, he often present us with a big check. You know, maybe Derek Chu may want to do that, right? It's a blank check that you print it out and you write to yourself. You know, put a date there when you want to have that money. Or you take your own check, you write it down there, bank it to another bank account on which date you want to cash out that check. And this is very important. This guy, I think you all know, Jim Carrey, right? And Jim Carrey have also a very interesting what I call method that he did is that in HBank in 1987, when he was only 25 years old, Jim Carrey was actually struggling to become a movie star in Los Angeles. He's a Canadian. And one day he drops out using his old Toyota to a mountaintop and start to have dreams and vision, you know. And he wrote himself a check for 10 million. And guess what? He said that I want to cash it at Thanksgiving Day in 1995, right? In 1995. And true enough, he actually featured in S. Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask, and the film that actually got him the 10 million was Dumb and Dumber, which actually grossed a worldwide sales of 550 million, and he became a superstar overnight. And guess what? His father have always encouraged him to realize his dream and his goal. And this is what he did. He put the check. You know, his father passed away in his father passed away. So he found out that he was going to make the $10 million from Dumb. So what he did was he put the check that he had written in his father's pocket when in the casket while conducting the funeral. And that was Jim Carrey's story. Isn't that fantastic? So what we're going to do here is that we're going to run through very fast. We have another 20 minutes to go, 19 minutes to go. And we're going to go through very important things that you need to do when you go back is to actually write down your intention and your objective, right? So your intention can be, I would like to increase my income, right? That is actually very vague, but it is a good intention. That is what you wanted to do. Or a better way to do is that you write down there is that I will earn 150,000 US dollar by 12 noon of 31st December 2020. Is that true? That is more measurable, right? So instead of just writing, I would like to have more income. The next one is that I would like to spend more time with my wife. I will take 2 of the 7 days vacation with my wife by December 31st, 2020, 12 p.m. So this is what I'm going to do. I want to make sure that I will set aside 2 weeks, 7 days that I am going actually to have a vacation with my wife so that I will spend more time with her. In expect the lockdown, the MCO, we have spent a lot of time together. We spend time together cooking, we spend time together, you know, doing gardening, we spend time together, all right, trying new recipe, and it's very, very interesting. So this is what you can do to spend time with your wife. I like to spend more time with my husband. I'll take ballroom dancing or line dancing or scuba diving for Danny and Agil. Take your wife for scuba diving, right? And for a 12 weeks scuba diving or line dancing class from September 31st to December 31st, 2020, right? So I want to lose weight and get fit. Guess what? This is my goals. I'm weighing 78 kilos during when the start of MCO. So my goals is to actually weigh 70 kilo and do daily 30-minute exercise, stretching exercise by 30th of June 2020, 12 p.m. So meaning to say by 30th of June, the next time you see me on the scale, say, oh, come on, step out on the scale. Let me see whether you're 70 kilo or not. And that is measurable, right? And I'd like to make a difference in education in Malaysia. I will conduct a half-day YWAP, that is a Youth with a Purpose seminar for students and teacher by 12 noon, 31st December 2020. And this is what I wanted to do again this year. If the MCO is allowed us to do that, I want to do for, say, 500 or 1,000 for students with the Youth with a Purpose seminar, which I have been doing it together with my brother since 1993. And this year we're going to do it one more time again. So I would like to rank up at ASEA, very, right? So I'll achieve the rank of ASEA Double Diamond by 12 noon, 31st December 2020. And this is the objective. And I will broadcast it out. I will share it out with every one of you. And I want to entertain, that I will be able to do it by 31st December 2020. All right. So this is something very interesting that I want to share with you as I end today's seminar. It's about intention and the objective. Here is where you want, as you can see on the left, and there's a road towards your goal, all right? So whenever you start to have an intention and start to write down the intention, the first thing that you have would be, you got to see considerations, right? You're going to see like fears that is coming in front of you, all right? And you're going to see roadblocks in front of you. And this is really true, right? So the three things that are going to emerge that will stop most people from wanting to pursue their goal will be consideration, fears, and roadblocks. And if you know that these three things are simply part of the process, then you just have to actually handle it rather than letting it stop you. All right, very important. So when you set the goals, immediately you see obstacles coming in front of you. All right, the consideration, fears, and roadblocks. And think about it. As soon as you say you want to double your income next year, within a moment, considerations such as I have to work harder, I have to work twice harder, I won't have the time for my family, my wife is going to kill me, will start to emerge in your mind. So when I say that I want to become a double diamond by 31st of December 2020, the first thing come to mind is that, how can it happen? The small little noise come to me. How can it happen? Is MCO is not going to end so soon? You're going to not be able to meet with the people down in the Philippines, and you cannot do seminar, you cannot do meetings, and nobody is going to jump on Zoom, and you're not going to meet and make it happen at that particular time. You may also have thought of, oh no, because of the MCO, everybody is not going to buy products, because why? People start to save money instead of spend money, right? So you can also, how can I get new buyers? But when you start to allow your mind to have to be resourceful, your subconscious mind, when you set a goal, so it's so clear, that is so firm, you begin to see there are so many other ways that we can start to build our business. Example, like through Zoom. Instead of, for the Filipino friends, I share with them, instead of thinking the Philippine market of 135 million people, think about the OFWs. There are 2 over million OFWs. They are all out in all over the world, and ASEA is in 33 countries, and you can actually reach out to them, and they become very, very resourceful, right? And if you were to say you're going to run a marathon, example, you might hire here in your head that, I've never run a marathon. If I run a marathon, maybe the next 1 week I will not be able to because I can't. It's going to hurt me. You have to get up earlier every day if you want to accomplish certain goals. You may have to go to learn new skills. These are all called considerations. All right. So what are your considerations? What are your considerations that are actually stopping you, right? So important thing is to understand that all considerations are good things. They have been there, and your subconscious mind would help you to direct you to the next step if you understand that that is part of the process, all right? So it is always the subconscious mind and your conscious mind. Last week we talked that we've been programmed by a lot of other people habitual way of thinking or what cannot be done, And whatever that we create in our mind, always remember this, you can uncreate it and you can recreate what is it that you really, really want, all right? The next thing is fears. Fears are actually feelings, all right? You're feeling, right? You are fearful. And in actual, fear simply stands for false evidence appearing real. The FEAR simply stands for, F stands for false, E stands for education, or A stands for appearing, R stands for real, all right? So it's a false education appearing real. You may experience a fear of rejection, a fear of failure, a fear of making a fool of yourself, or you may be afraid of getting physically or emotionally hurt when things start not work out, all right? You might be afraid that you will lose all the money that you have already saved in your bank account. So you're going to take some of this money out and going to invest it in terms of learning new skills or buying a new gadget for doing online marketing or whatever it is. You may be fearful that you're going to hurt the bank account, you're going to lose this money. So when you start to operate that, you never be taking any action. These fears are not unusual. They are just part of the process, as I mentioned, all right? So knowing that in advance helps you to move through them smoothly. As you see the road in front of you down there, if there are roadblocks, you have to move through them one by one, all right? So the important thing is that you must be aware that along the way, there are also roadblocks, all right? These are purely circumstances. The MCO, the COVID-19 pandemic, is actually circumstances, situation that are not within our control. E plus R equal to O, the first seminar training that we did, the events in the life plus your response equal to your outcome. The events in the life is roadblocks that cannot be changed, like the COVID-19 pandemic. We cannot reverse it and change it. But what we can do is the way we respond. That is more important than looking at the blames on what really happened because of the COVID and trying to change the events. That is very important, all right? So a roadblock may be that nobody wants to join you on your project. Nobody wants to join you at ASEA, all right? So that can be a roadblock. Roadblock can be that you don't have all the money that you need to move forward, all right? So example, a lot of people wanted to start a business, even the online business right now, they find it is so lucrative, but they don't have the money to get started. But they are not resourceful enough to look for a much easier way to get started to build a home-based business. As I'm actually promoting right now, I am sharing with a lot of my friends to actually start a home-based business. In actual, I have to think of many ways of trying to get them on board to think about the opportunity that we are having, all right? Because it's so easy to get started because it does not involve a lot of money. So a lot of people are thinking that, is it a real business? Today, a real business is like investing in a franchise business where you spend for 300,000 or 400,000, that is real business, all right? So to me, I have to think of very creative way of trying to reach out to them by giving them the fear that the pandemic is going to last for a long time. This is the best time to build a home-based business. I was also thinking of putting a package together called, business in the box, ASEA business in the box, where we will teach you A to Z from mindsetting to skill, attitudes, and how to build a global business. And everything is in the business in the box, and you only have to pay, say, like 1,000 ringgit, you can get started, all right? 6-month coaching and all the stuff. So very important is that roadblocks are simply obstacles that the world throw at you. If it rains, when you're trying to put on an outdoor concert, example, we are supposed to be launching our ASEA Philippines in Davao, and because of the earthquake, we have to put off. We are supposed to launch our ASEA Malaysia in month of August. If the MCO continue, we have to put off, all right? So your wife does not want you to move to another new location. Some of you may be planning to say, I want to move to another country to build a ASEA business. Your spouse may not allow you to do so, all right? Your children's education, all right? These are roadblocks, all right? You don't have the financial backing again. I say you've got to be creative. Roadblocks are simply real world circumstances. It's real. You have to face it. That is real, and you need to deal with it in order to move forward, right? And there are just things that you will need to handle along the way. So never allow it to be a roadblock to actually paralyze you and not being able to move forward. But take the consideration, the fears and roadblocks at the process of what you need to do to get from point A to point B. And this is what you need to do. You need to master it, all right? The goal is to be a mastery, all right? To be able to have the right mindset, to be able to have the right skill set, to be able to have the right action set to actually get from point A to point B, and always believe that it is possible, it can be done. All right. So this is very, very important things that I like to share here. So remember, don't stop. Whenever people see there's a roadblocks, there's consideration, there's obstacles in front of them, what they normally will resign to is that stop, you know. So, but I encourage you, don't stop, don't give up. If you know where you are going, you will get there. If you are clear exactly where you're going, you get there. So don't stop, don't give up on all your goals and all your dreams. Like what Disney said, all dreams will come true if you have the courage to pursue them. All dreams will come true if you have one. You have a dream, you have the courage to pursue what you have written down. Do you put into action of what you have written down and make your dreams come true? Realize all your dreams and all your goals for yourself and your family. And I believe that it is possible for you, it's possible for every one of us here in this particular training. I think that ends my training for today. And I want to pass this line over to Derek Chiu. Thank you, Derek.
Hey, thank you, Poh. Let's give Poh a big hand. That's fantastic, Poh Ted Ang. You know, I think this is good because every one of our life, every one of us go through. It's a journey of life. It's a journey of a seer which we go through. Having what I call, I always say a seer journey is an uptrend stock market. It doesn't go one straight line, but it goes through hiccups along the way. And that's where the experience which you go through, the disappointment which you go through, that's really worth it for you because it makes us lift ourselves up together with all the goal setting which we put in place for us to do even better, for us to bring out the best in us. And I think that Poh Ted Ang, what he put in place for the 8 principles of success to inspire success, it's all within each one of us. I'm no different from each one of y'all. We're all 2 hands, 2 eyes, 1 brain, and things like that. We all go through disappointments in life. We also go through upside in life. So with this journey, I'm just so blessed to have all the talented people on this team to work hand in hand together to be able to, for us to look forward in the journey, for us to achieve greater success together in terms of healthcare, in terms of opportunity, and in terms of the ethos which Thailand also put in place to make us better people in the world, in the community of success and good-heartedness and good soul, so that we can bring forward this platform to share to the rest of the world. Thank you very much tonight for attending this talk.